It's that time, y'all. Time for Big Boys Boxing.
If you think I'm a pussy, I'm a punk, you tell me right now. Because listen, I am the baddest man. Fuck me.
So that'll give a bit of energy.
Yeah.
It's good night. It is all over in the 11th round.
Kia ora team, we back. Hopefully what I've done is sorted out my audio issues. Tried just before, wasn't so great. If you could let me know in the chat. The stream's titled wrong, I know that much, but we'll see. Sounds like the audio's back. It's good now. Krista, says Tommy. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate that, Tommy. So today I would like to talk about Alexander Usyk and Derek Chisora, of course. Also, Dave Allen versus Christopher Lovejoy. Both of these fights, for me, I think are gauge fights. What I mean by that is we don't know exactly how good Usyk is at heavyweight at a decent level. Derek Chisora is definitely the man who can find him out if he's not. Also, Christopher Lovejoy, 19-0 with 19 KOs, but he's fought nobody. He's fought one guy with a winning record. All of his fights have been in Mexico, so there's no footage of any of his fights. So we don't exactly know what we're going to get, but I've got a sneaking suspicion about this guy. But we'll get to that. Just give me a sec here. I'm just retitling this stream. Messed it all up in a rush trying to get it all sorted after my audio stuff up. So just give me a sec. I suck at multitasking. Almost there, team. I will drop a link shortly. Once I've got all my stuff sorted out. I'm nearly there. Change the thumbnail and we're done. So yeah, I've got a few issues. Got a new headset and I've made a few changes to my software. It's messed a few things up, so it's taken me a bit to get on top of it all. But I will be doing a live commentary stream for Dave Allen and Derek Chisora. So I'm still multitasking here if you can't tell. And Lovejoy and Allen as well. I'm guessing there could possibly be fights between, so I'll probably hang around on the stream. But yeah, I shall be doing a live. I can't monetize this, can't change it once you've already said it. Alright, so blah 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 blue blah. Yeah, got that sorted. Got it all sorted, I think. Right. To the chat. We have Tommy Temper in the house as always. Thank you for dropping in, brother. We got Marla 2243 in the house. I got Usyk 11, 116, 112. Ooh, that's fairly competitive there, Marla. Derek said, Tommy Temper, Derek said he's going straight at Usyk. Well, that's the only chance he's got, I think. Okay, so I'll give my predictions and what I think's going to happen before I drop a link for anybody else to jump on. Now, I've been watching a bit of Usyk's old fights, two in particular because he fought super heavyweights in the World Series of Boxing. He fought Junior Farr, he fought Joe Joyce. The most recent one I watched was last night. I watched Joe Joyce, and Usyk was playing with him. He was like a cat with a ball of wool. Utilizing his speed advantage, his evasive skills, his footwork, and he was just absolutely playing with Joe Joyce. He won every single round, cleaned him up no problem. The other one, Junior Farr. Now, Junior Farr is a little bit different kettle of fish. Back in those days, I think Junior Farr was better than he is now. He moved a lot more evasively, but with the point of throwing counters. So I thought Usyk had more trouble with Junior Farr than he did with Joe Joyce because he moves a bit more. So and he was countering a lot better. Wasn't landing a lot, but he was certainly landing a lot more than Joe Joyce did. Now, Derek Chisora is not like either of these fighters. Nothing like him whatsoever. He's going to come forward and try and rush Usyk. He can't box him from the outside. Not a shit show in hell. Man, Derek Chisora can't box from the outside pretty much against anybody. It's not in him to do it. He doesn't have the skill set for it. He's the guy who's going to try and maul you, try and come over the top with big right hands or uppercuts inside, left hooks. But when he's right on your chest. Now the problem I see for Derek Chisora when he tries to do this is Alexander Usyk has fantastic footwork. He's not going to get caught up against the ropes. He'll use an angle for an exit every time he feels a rope touching him on the back. And he'll counter on his way out with combinations. So honestly, I can't see Derek Chisora winning this unless Usyk makes a huge mistake and gets caught with one of those big wide overhand rights. That's the only way I can see Usyk possibly losing this fight, and it's got to be a one-punch KO. Because Usyk, even if he does get hurt, he seems to have a pretty good chin, and he still keeps his wits about him. He'll keep moving, and Derek will be throwing punches at ear. Of course, there is that chance, the puncher's chance, that Derek could land something on Usyk. But seriously, I cannot see it happening. Now, the closest comparison to Derek Chisora that Usyk has fought, for me, was his toughest fight at cruiserweight, being Myris Briedis, where he got on his chest and utilized a bit of roughhouse tactics. Now, the difference there being is Myris Briedis is a hell of a lot quicker than Derek Chisora. He's a hell of a lot more skilled with his ring craft than Derek Chisora. So I see this being a real problem. I see Derek Chisora getting disheartened, getting slowed down, not getting knocked out, but I think Usyk is going to make Derek Chisora quit after 9 to 10 rounds. Of course, there's a possibility that the ref may stop the fight due to Derek taking sustained punishment for a long period of time. But shit happens in boxing sometimes. If Derek catches Usyk with something big early and hurts him, the game could change. Maybe Usyk could slow down, or if he gets badly hurt, maybe he could be in trouble. He might not be able to move as well. He might not be able to see the punches coming as well. But I think that's the biggest thing for Usyk, is he sees everything. He does. He sees everything. He just moves his head slightly off center, misses, and comes back with 3, 4, 5 punch combinations, and then gets out of there. And his footwork with his stepping in and out very quickly, that's going to be a problem for Derek too, big time. So I've got the fight going 9 to 10 rounds, and Usyk is going to make Derek say no mas. No mas. So the other fight, I'll quickly get my prediction in for that one. Christopher Lovejoy and Dave Allen. Now, we don't know what we're getting. There's no footage on Christopher Lovejoy. We know what Dave Allen's got, and we can speculate on what he's going to bring to the ring. Sometimes he comes in really good shape with ambition to do what he needs to do. Sometimes he's just there for the paycheck, to pay some gambling debts, feeling sorry for himself. Man, we don't know what Dave Allen we're going to get until the day. Now, Christopher Lovejoy, 6'5", 19-0, beaten up Mexican taxi drivers for a couple of years. He's not the youngest of heavyweights. He has no registered reach. I'm just looking for something in particular. He's 36 years of age. Now, he's fluctuated in weight a lot. He has been talking on social media saying that he's about 350 pounds at present. I'm not buying it. Not at all. Now, he has been, what's his heaviest weight is 286 pounds. And that was a fight, or 286.5 pounds to be exact. And that was in 2018, November of 2018. I think. Boxrec dates them. I always get them mixed up because they don't put them in the order that I'm used to seeing them. Yeah, it was November 2018. Now, Christopher Lovejoy looked like he was going to get a shot at the WBA interim title against Trevor Bryan, and that was supposed to be September 26th. Then it apparently got moved to the October 3rd, and then the WBA decided, no, we're not sanctioning a bout for a title, even though Christopher Lovejoy had just paid his sanctioning fees to get himself into the WBA rankings. The WBA turned around and said nope. So he didn't get that fight. But keep in mind, he had been training to get a shot at a, how would I put this, at a world title that's not really a world title. Okay, so he should have been in prime condition for only a month ago, right? Now, his last fight as well was in January this year on the 25th, and he weighed 236 pounds. So if he's 350 pounds now, he must have been eating pure fat for 8 months. Pure fat to gain almost a third of your entire body weight in 8 months or 9 months. I ain't buying this 350-pound crap. He's a big dude, but if he was 236 in his last fight in January, and he was preparing for a world title fight a month ago, I think he's going to come into the ring at a max of 250 pounds. Maximum. So I think he's trying to fool people by saying that he is going to be about 330 pounds when he steps into the ring on Saturday. Totally full of caca. But is it going to make a hell of a lot of difference in the fight? I don't think so. Honestly, he hasn't stepped in the ring in a real fight against somebody the level of Dave Allen, and that's not a good advertisement for Christopher Lovejoy. It will certainly get him some notoriety one way or another. It'll be the first time he's been on a televised fight, and it's Dave Allen. Everybody loves Dave Allen except for the ones who are getting sick of him getting shot after shot at things he hasn't earned. But I suspect this fight, Christopher Lovejoy, from what I hear, he likes to come forward, he likes to try and walk you down, throw a lot of punches, but not having been past the first couple of rounds in his entire career is going to be a problem. Dave Allen's got a hell of a chin. If he absorbs the attack for the first 2 rounds and then decides to start throwing back when Lovejoy's starting to get a little more tired after throwing a lot of shots, I think Lovejoy's going to get knocked out. I think he's going to get knocked clean out. One of these body shots from Dave Allen, or an overhand right, or even a left hook, when he's in close, I think it's going to catch Lovejoy, and that's going to be, okay, he was a hot job. I could be wrong. I did see on Boxing Squid's video the other day, he'd spoken to Jonathan Rice, who had done some sparring with Christopher Lovejoy, and he says, yeah, he's actually got a bit of power and he has some skill. So I'm not quite sure what we're going to get, but it's going to be very interesting to say the very least. Adam Fahey, remember that Victor Vickhurst is back on this week in Germany. Okay, against Sokolovsky. Well, he'll get some rounds out of Sokolovsky at least. That's cool. Alright, team, so I'm just going to go and grab a link if anybody wants to jump on, come and have a yarn about any of this stuff. You're quite welcome to. I just saw an article on Boxing Scene saying that Anthony Joshua is going to be trying to apply for a special exemption to take a undisputed fight with Tyson Fury. I've got a sneaking suspicion he ain't going to get it. I'm pretty sure the WBO have already said that yes, you can fight Kubrat Pulev as long as Alexander Usyk is directly next. So I don't really believe that the WBO are going to give that exemption to him. It is what it is. Oh shit, is that not working? Hello, hello. For God's sake. Shit's all hitting the fan with my tech today, man. Now it seems I can't get Discord to work. Great! Just freaking great. Maybe I have to oh no, it's working. Yeah, it's working. but it's not making any noise. Oh yeah, it is. Yep, it's working. Cool. So I am in the voice channel now for Discord. I'm about to drop the link in the chat and paste it to the top for anybody who wants to jump on and have a yarn. There's the link in the chat. I'll pin it to the top. There we go. So if anybody wants to jump on and have a yarn, give their opinion on how they think these two fights are gonna go, you're quite welcome to. Intangible also on the house. Good to have you in, man. Camille might take Victor Vickers some rounds. He took Gilles. Yeah, he did take him some rounds. Man, I thought he also beat Lucas Brown, but they gave that to Lucas Brown. Sokolovsky's a guy, you know, he jumps in there with anybody. It doesn't matter whether they're elite or not. He gives it his all, and if you're not good enough, he will beat you. He's no joke. He's got a lot of losses on his record, but you got to look at who his losses are to, man. AA Boxing and Blunt's also in the house. Good to have you in, brother. Very rarely, Dave Allen very rarely comes in, but full of excuses. Yeah, man. Dave Allen's had so many shots, and I can understand why people are getting sick of seeing the dude, but it's still entertainment, and he's solid enough for a lot of these up-and-comers to either get found out or prove their worth. So, man, I don't have a lot of disdain for Dave Allen. I mean, he's a bit of a sob story. He's, you know, had his problems, but he steps in the ring with anybody. He's never going to get knocked out, or he doesn't so far. Never gets knocked out quickly. At worst, he gives guys rounds. And yeah, it is what it is. Dave Allen is Dave Allen. Dave Allen should fight Cash Ali next. Yeah, that's not a bad shout, Intangible. They're about the same level, like you say. I don't know. I think I don't like Cash Ali after he started getting the shit beaten out of him by David Price, so he turned to biting. What's going to happen next time someone starts beating the crap out of him? Is he going to kick them in the nuts? You know, I don't know. He's a dirty piece of crap. Cash Ali can piss off in my book. Cash Ali is scheduled to fight on a card. Eurosport in the UK. Okay. Listed in Sheffield area. Denmark. Okay. Oh, Air Park. Car park. Okay. Yep, fair enough. Fair enough. Cash Ali has had 2 fights with Sokolovsky too. Yeah. Yeah. I probably should look at the schedule because I haven't even looked at it. It's been pretty dead for heavyweights over the last little while. There's been some good entertainment with other weight classes, of course. Last weekend, I thoroughly enjoyed the I enjoyed the whole card that Showtime did last week. There's only 3 fights on it, but they were really competitive fights, all of them. And yeah, congratulations to Showtime for putting on a decent card in a time where it's hard to get fights, competitive fights made, because this COVID situation is what it is, you know. It's hard. It takes a lot of the money away from having gate sales, so it's hard to get competitive fights made when both fighters want a decent amount of money to put their reputation on the line. So well done, Showtime. Alright, heavyweights. Looking at the schedule now. Thursday, that'll be a nobody. Friday. Nah, don't know those dudes. Whoa. This dude's got a lot of fights, man. Gonzalo Omar Basili is 75-13. Whoa. Being a heavyweight and having that many fights, dude's got to have some brain damage, surely. Friday. Okay, we're getting into the Saturdays now. There he is, Victor Vickhurst. 3-0, taking on Kamil Sokolovsky. And there's another heavyweight fight on that card, being Michelle Wallace, 20-4, and he's taking on Kai Kurzawa. I think that Kurzawa, it must be how you say it, who is 38-9. And like Adam was saying, that fight is in Germany, in Berlin. There's no listed network for that card at this stage. Mala2243 is in the house. How are you, brother?
Yeah, mate. Good, mate. Good.
That's the one.
Just working out that Discord.
Yeah, it's still giving you a bit of trouble, is it?
Yeah, I worked it out though. I sort of logged out of it and then logged back in, and it seemed to
sort it out. Yeah.
sort it out. So yeah, that's okay.
Could somebody in the chat just let us know if you can hear Marla loud and clear? I just want to make sure before we go too far. But yeah, how do you think this fight between Usyk and Chisora is gonna go?
I'm going 116, 112 Usyk, even possibly 117, 111 Usyk. I think Chisora, Chisora's got to bore in on him and really go to his body and really try and work his body consistently, try and chop him down. It's the only way to try and take his legs out so that Usyk can't move on him, because Usyk's obviously a lot slicker than Chisora, got a lot more foot speed.
Yeah.
And the only thing I wonder about Usyk is Usyk needs to put some good shots on Chisora early to get Chisora's respect and back him off. Because if Usyk can't really hurt Chisora, if his punches are having no effect, I mean, it's going to be very difficult. It will actually become a difficult fight for him, because Chisora will just keep boring in. He'll be on Usyk the whole 12 rounds.
Yep. I can see that's definitely what he's going to try and do. I'm skeptical whether he's going to be able to catch up with Usyk. That's going to be the problem.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Usyk's foot speed's a lot better. He's a lot slicker, and Chisora's going to have to try and cut him off, pin him on the ropes if he wants to work the body.
Yeah.
So I think he could just find himself getting outmaneuvered, and it could end up 117, 111. I wouldn't surprise me to see that. He might win a few rounds early, Chisora, but then once Usyk works him out, he'll just start pulling away and start winning round after round.
So you're pretty convinced it's definitely going to go the distance then?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough, man. It's certainly a possibility from my point of view too. I think it could go the distance if Chisora doesn't quit, but I really think he's going to be so frustrated after 8 rounds. I think he's going to chuck the towel in, but we'll see, man. Definitely going to be interesting. And your thoughts on Dave Allen and Christopher Lovejoy? You got much to say about that one?
I haven't. No, I haven't watched Lovejoy. I don't know a lot about him actually.
Man, nobody's been able to watch him because he's never been on TV. So
it's that bad.
it's that bad. All of his fights have been in Mexico, man. Every fight of it he's ever had has been in Mexico as a pro. And like with everyone's spoken about, he's only ever fought one dude with a winning record.
I'm just checking. I'm just on Boxing Rack. I'm going to have a quick. Hang on, Dave Allen, Lovejoy, eh?
Yeah, Christopher.
Hang on.
Intangible Boxing News says, I think Chisora will win rounds early, then outboxed and lose a UD. Yeah, well, it's definitely on the cards. That's pretty much what you reckon, eh?
Yeah.
Okay. It seems what a lot of people are thinking as well. Now, I had a look at some odds for the fight yesterday, particularly the exact round betting, just to see what the bookies are thinking. And it seems they're favouring rounds 7, 8, and 9 for a stoppage by Usyk. I'm not quite sure it'll be any earlier than 9. I think Chisora's got a pretty good chin most of the time, and I don't think Usyk hits quite as hard as a Dillian White or even a Tyson Fury. So
yeah, and I mean, it took Usyk how many Usyk Bellew? It took him how many rounds? For 8 rounds to get Bellew out.
Yeah.
So I can't see Chisora going before that.
No. And I think there'll be a lot more pressure from Chisora than there was from Bellew. So, but taking into account that Bellew's quicker than Chisora as well, I don't know. Is he? Can he land anything on Usyk to slow him down? I just keep going back to it because I just can't see Chisora being able to corner or get Usyk up against the ropes long enough to unload combinations to the body.
Well, that's the thing. He could end up, might land one shot and then Usyk's out of there. No, it is very difficult for him. I just don't see Chisora as a quitter. I can't see him throwing the towel in. And I just feel, and I don't know about Usyk's power. That's why I'm sort of going for the 12-round unanimous decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, watching a few of Usyk's fights, he never really sits down on his punches much, unless it's that straight left down the pipe, and the rest of the combinations don't really have a lot on him. It's just like peppering shots, eh? So I think,
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just see a comment here from AA Boxing and Blunts. What do you think about DAZN landing in New Zealand for $2.99? I don't know about it being that cheap, man. I definitely know there's people already using DAZN in New Zealand, but they are beta testers. I don't know if they pay for it or they're just testers to give DAZN, information with how it's working. But $2.99 a month, I'll subscribe to that. That's cheap, man. But we have kind of a new streaming service down here, being Spark Sport, and that kind of taking a lot of Sky New Zealand's business. So having Sky New Zealand and Spark Sport already here, I guess DAZN would have to go pretty cheap to get people interested in it. And down here, I don't know what sports they're going to be covering. If they're going to be getting some rugby on there, then they'll definitely get a whole lot of subscribers. But I have the funny feeling Sky Sport has a contract for a while still on the rugby down here in New Zealand. So, I don't know.
The New Zealand Rugby Union actually brought a small stake in Sky.
Oh, that's money to throw away because they're going down.
Yeah.
But
yeah, they did buy a small stake in them, but I've been disappointed with them with the boxing. They didn't show the Charlo fights. They didn't show Lopez fight. They showed the fight last week. What was the one last week? Lipinets. They showed Lipinets.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They didn't show. I checked yesterday and I couldn't see the Usyk fight, so I don't know if they're going to show that. So
Well,
they're getting pretty slack on it, mate.
Wow. Did you check the pay-per-view platform for it? Was it?
Yeah, that didn't show anything, but it was
okay.
only Wednesday. It was only Wednesday yesterday. So I mean,
Yeah.
later on and in the week I'll check and hopefully they will be showing it. I'll be so pissed if they don't, man.
Yeah, well, usually with the pay-per-view Matchroom cards, they pay-per-view down here most of the time, and we get them.
Yeah.
We get them on Sky or what's it called? Something Pass.
Sky Pass or something, is it?
Oh yeah, if you haven't got Sky, you can buy the pay-per-views through their other app there. Jeez, what's
right.
Fan Pass? Yeah, that's what it's called, Fan Pass.
Yeah. I've still got Sky because of the rugby.
Yeah, loyal as.
If I wasn't a rugby fan, I'd just flick it.
Yeah, fair enough. But you know, the people who are already testing the zone down here as beta testers will be able to watch the fights down here, I imagine. I don't know whether... No, it'll probably be free for them down here because it's the same as the American the zone, isn't it? So not here. The zone's launching in the UK as well for $1.99 a month or something. So
wow.
They're going global now. We'll see how well it takes off though. But yes. Oh, did you see the news about Mark Hunt and Paul Gallen yesterday?
I heard a little bit about it. They've signed, have they?
Yeah, it's announced. It's on BoxRec. It's 16th of December. It's happening. It's going to be the co-main event to Tim Sue and Bowen Morgan, who's a super welterweight from New Zealand here, our best super welterweight. Yeah, where you go, mate?
He's a tough guy, Gallen. That's a good fight.
He is a tough guy, and I knew Mark Hunt was old, but I didn't realise he's actually 46. I didn't think he was quite that old. So, interesting. I see an interview with Mark Hunt. He says he's got 6 fights left in him. He thinks whether they be kickboxing, MMA, boxing, it doesn't really matter to him. Depends where the money's at. And I guess after his career with the UFC, where he got ripped off so badly, then it makes sense for him to worry most about the money to try and make up for what he should have earned over his career in the UFC. But
yeah, he's got to cash up.
Yeah. I'm just looking up Mark Hunt here with the fights. I didn't realise Mark Hunt had actually been in a boxing ring, but it was 20 years ago.
Oh, wow.
He's 0-1-1 as a boxer, but
Okay.
he's 46 years old. Paul Gallen is a rugby league player. He's been boxing for a little while. He's 9-0. Just looking for his age. He's only an inch taller than Mark Hunt, so it could be a decent scrap. Could be fun anyway, at the very least. Okay, Paul Gallen's 39, so he's no spring chicken either.
Oh, no.
But yeah, it could be pretty interesting. I mean, Mark Hunt's been an elite combat sportsman for over 2 decades. Paul Gallen's been a boxer, or professional boxer, since 2014. So, I don't know. You know, we're always going to come back to the fact that boxing is an art that's totally different from MMA. As we saw with Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor. So, Paul Gallen being a serious boxer for 6 years, is he going to be better than Mark Hunt? I'm not so sure. Mark Hunt's a natural puncher anyway. He's not really a kicker or a grappler, so...
Adam said it could well be on Spark Sport They had White Povetkin and the Mexican card last week. Yeah, I have to check Spark Sport. They're outbidding Sky, damn it.
They are. Do they have a pay-per-view platform? Because I'm pretty sure that idiot.
Yeah,
they do they?
I think. I hope you don't have to sign up. Like, I don't want to sign up with Spark and pay like a monthly fee. I'm already paying for Sky. It's sort of.
Yeah, hopefully they've got a platform where you can buy a pay-per-view separately. I'm sure
that's
they will.
right.
I'm sure they do actually, because the Junior Farr versus Joseph Parker is going to be on there. That's going.
Yeah, he's doing the old who's he fighting? What's that guy? Junior Farr.
Junior Farr is fighting Joseph Parker on the 11th of December, I think it is. So, yeah, that'll be interesting when you get around to that as well.
I'm picking Parker by TKO for that one.
Yeah, I'm picking Parker as well. I haven't quite decided on the method of victory yet. I've been trying to make a decent assessment of where Junior Farr is. The only real hard fight he's been in since he's turned pro is the one where there's only really crappy footage of against Dominic Gwynn, where he got knocked down.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've watched a fair few of his old amateur fights recently, where he fought Alexander Usyk, as I was talking about before. He also beat Aslanbek Makhmudov. He beat as well, and that one's available on YouTube. And man, he looked a lot better back in those days. He used to move his upper body a lot better. He wasn't walking forward with his hands so high all the time. He looked a lot more, how would I put it? Not more defensively responsible, but still just as defensively responsible. But he was using a lot more counter shots. He seemed to be trying to put a lot more on his punches. He looked a lot more agile. These days, he looks just concentrated on not getting hurt.
Yeah, he's gone nowhere in his career, really, eh?
Yeah. So,
Disappointing, man.
you know, I think Junior Farr started boxing as a pro when he saw Joseph Parker, thinking, a few years down the track, I can get a big New Zealand fight against this guy, make some money, and I don't have to fight anymore. But
Yeah.
we'll see, man.
Oh, got Adam here said they have a pay-per-view platform, and also on their Discover page is Boxing with Matchroom as the logo.
Ah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'll have to do some research on that closer to the Parker fight, but maybe worth a look if it's going to be on there. This weekend's card could be on there, so we'll see. What's this? I see John Parker back fighting. Okay.
Well, that's not good.
Well,
He had that brain aneurysm. He had that brain.
yeah, he had a blood clot or something. Hopefully they got that sorted out. He won't be fighting unless the doctors have given him the A-OK to do so. But I was kind of wondering whether we'd ever see John Parker back in the ring again. He's an exciting little fighter. He usually fights at cruiserweight, I think, but I think he'd probably be better suited to light heavy, to be honest. He's quite a bit smaller than his older brother, so
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, I wouldn't muck around with those brain things. If it was me, I would stay away.
It's not the sport to mess with that sort of thing. I would be the same if I had a blood clot or an aneurysm in my brain. Even if the doctor said it was okay to go back, I probably wouldn't.
Yeah.
If I didn't have kids and a wife, then maybe I'd possibly think about going back, but I do, so I wouldn't.
It was like Monty Beetham, eh?
True that. Yeah.
Got to bleed just in sparring, and he walked away from it.
Yeah. And now he's got a pretty good career as a media presenter, as a boxing coach. He does lots of stuff, so it's not the end of the world. if he can't box anymore.
He just did the smart thing and he walked. He just didn't want to risk it, man. You have that bleed and you take one shot too many and,
Yeah.
collapsing. And as he said, he got it at the gym.
Yeah.
Didn't get it in the fight. On fight night, he got it sparring.
Yeah.
So it can happen.
So it looks like John's trying to get on the undercard of Parker versus Farr. Well, don't jump in the ring with Hio, mate. Don't do that, because that blood clot will be back or worse in no time.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, you'll take some shots, man.
I'm still hoping to see if Hio will get on that card. He did have a fight against Junior Putty scheduled for, early or late November? I want to look up that card actually. Might have some more confirmations on there by now. BBBoxingonyt. Oops. Hopefully we've got some more confirmations for that card. There's the card. Oh, we haven't. We've got David Light, our top cruiserweight, is going to be on that card as well.
Good fighter.
Yeah, he's going to be fighting... Oh, who's this? I can't say that name. Mosi Uamatangi. I've heard that name before. Why have I heard that name before? Mosi Uamatangi. 14-1 with 2 draws. Oh yeah, I've seen him fight before. Seen him fight in that King of the Ring that they had. Also a kickboxer, I think. But David Light's a pretty well polished cruiserweight. He fights out of the what's his name? Is it Isaac Peach? David Peach. Can't remember his name.
Oh, yeah.
Fights out of that gym. So that could be an interesting fight, but that's the only other fight confirmed on that card so far. I think he comes to fight, man. I'm sure that dude comes to fight. He doesn't try and survive. So that could be an interesting fight. Still hoping that we're going to get Hio on that card as well. Quickly look him up again. He was still going to be fighting Junior Putty, and those of you who don't know, Junior Putty is the guy that Lucas Brown came over to New Zealand and fought and beat him down. I mean, Junior Putty's a guy who should be fighting at like light heavyweight, but he's like 300 pounds and 5'10" or something, so one of those guys. Hio still has that fight with Junior Putty scheduled on the 13th of November, so it's a couple of weeks away. Hopefully he gets that out of the way with no damage and he can jump on the card.
Oh, Adam said we could see David Nika's pro debut on the card. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, well, I did see the North Island Golden Gloves were on last week. Big shout out to Hannibal B for dropping me the YouTube link. If you search North Island Golden Gloves on YouTube, there is all of the fights there, but the last fight was David Naika beating the absolute crap out of a guy who hasn't been boxing that long, but he was the top guy in the North Island. Yeah, he's leagues above everybody else in New Zealand as an amateur, as David Naika, so I don't know why he bothered, unless, if he jumps in the ring with someone like David Light, it could be interesting. He's only He's only a heavyweight. He's not a super heavyweight, so that'd be cruiser, unless he wanted to go bigger when he moves up to pro. There you go, Mala.
I just clicked on Spark Sport. Yeah, they've got their pay-per-view section, and the you don't need a subscription, and it's $49.99. So I won't be getting it.
Is that for the Far fight or for the one this weekend?
For the Far fight.
Okay. They haven't got anything on there about Usyk Chisora.
No,
Okay.
just click pay-per-view, and that's the only one that's that they've got listed so far. Parker versus Far. Yeah, that's all they've got listed at the moment.
Interesting.
Hope we find that. I want to see this Usyk Chisora, man. God, I want to see it.
Oh, you reckon David Naika might be on the Parker card, Adam? That early? Far out. I wonder who they'd put him in there with. And I wonder if he'd fight at cruiser or would he fight at heavy?
He's a good fighter, but did he come across to you as a pro fighter?
No, he hasn't got the style for me. I mean, he can put out a lot of volume, but his punches don't seem that powerful. And to be honest, his defense is pretty crap.
I know, man. I was thinking the same thing. I'm just really skeptical about him.
This guy that I watched him fight last week didn't have much offensive prowess whatsoever, but he was landing counters on him left, right, and center. So if a pro who can punch can land on him consistently, he's not going to last long. He's going to get knocked out. But I don't know. Things might change when he turns pro. He's been doing a bit of sparring with Joseph Parker now and then. Apparently he's going to be sparring with Joseph Parker prior to the Far fight as well. So maybe he'll pick up some tips in there from Joe and whoever he's going to be sparring with. Which is a bit of a mystery. Who is Joseph Parker going to spar training here in New Zealand? Most of the quality fighters that would be available for sparring are going to be in the gym with Junior Far.
Oh, man.
Because he's at City Kickboxing and they've got a whole lot of boxers, a whole lot of MMA fighters. So is Joe going to have to get somebody in besides David Naika? Man, if I was him, I'd be getting somebody over from Australia, like what's that kid's name who fought last week? Justice Huni. You should get him over here for sparring.
Someone tall, eh?
Yeah, was Junior's 6'5", and he moves a lot. He's quite defensive, and there is a fight that Unrivaled Boxing Talk and News kindly posted on the Discord in the general chat. Justice Huni fought for the Australian title last week against his name Django Opilu, and this was Justice Huni's pro debut. He fought in a 10-rounder for the national title. But this kid can really move. He can slip punches. He's got good defense. I think he's a good guy to get over to emulate a lot of what Junior Far does. Take away some of the offense, and you've got Junior Far. So maybe that's an option. But I can't think of anybody else unless he gets fighters flown in from the States that he'd usually spar. I don't know if Malik Scott would be interested because he's helped Junior Far train before in the Deontay Wilder camp. He's heavily mixed up with Deontay Wilder's camp now as well. Whether he's still training or not, I don't know. But keep in mind that Malik Scott has done a lot of sparring with Joseph Parker in the past as well.
He has. Yeah.
So Yeah, I don't know, man. I do not know who Joe's gonna spar. Alright, so we'll move on to a little bit of more current news. There is a article on Boxing Scene that's saying Anthony Joshua is going to try and apply for a special exemption from the WBO to fight Tyson Fury for undisputed instead of fighting Alexander Usyk. You got any thoughts on that one, Mala?
Yeah, I think it's low down, mate. I think Usyk's, he needs to fight Usyk. If Usyk beats Chisora, he should be fighting Usyk.
I don't think there's any question that Usyk isn't going to step aside for any amount of money. But do you think maybe the WBO would comply with the request from Joshua or not?
I don't think they will. Yeah, I hope they don't. To be honest, I just think he needs to fight Usyk.
Yep.
I mean, the Fury fight would be great, but I think Usyk's been hanging for quite a while, and I really think they should do the right thing and fight him.
Yeah, I agree. And, I think if the WBO does give that special exemption, then they're going back on what they've stated in the past. They've said,
Yeah, man.
I think it was just off the top of my head, don't quote me on it, I think the WBO said that title shot must happen before March of next year. But then they said, we can let you fight Pulev for the IBF mandatory as long as Usyk is next. That means no other fights, including undisputed. So I don't have high hopes for Joshua getting any kind of exemption. And as much as I do want to see undisputed, I want to see champions fulfill their obligations as a champion. Otherwise, their championship belt is pretty much worthless to me.
That's right. There's no reason he can't fight Usyk and then Fury.
No.
There's no reason he can't do that. So, if he doesn't front against Usyk, it's poor form on his part, man. And I actually think AJ will beat Usyk.
I think he probably would too, but I think it's a lot more competitive fight than most seem to think. A lot of people who don't really watch the boxing, they think, cruiserweight, he's blown up, he's too small, can't win. It don't work like that, man.
No, I think if AJ against Usyk, because of Usyk's maneuverability, if I was AJ, I'd look to come in at 237 again, like he did against the rematch with Ruiz. And then I think from there, he can just look to dominate the center of the ring, AJ. He's got height, reach, he's got more power, he's got a good jab. He could fight from the center of the ring and force Usyk to come to him.
Yeah.
And just look to really frustrate him, work the jab a lot, frustrate him with the jab, and look to set up the long shots from the outside. Then when Usyk gets inside, he's got the option of looking to uppercut him or tying him up.
Yep.
So he could make it very, very difficult fight for Usyk. And I think in the end, AJ's size could be the telling factor in the fight and really get him the win.
Quite possibly. If he could manage to keep Usyk at the end of his reach, then there is no way that Usyk can win. But once again, with Usyk, it comes down to that footwork, his speed, and his ability to just see all the punches coming. Maybe I'm a bit swayed by the Usyk-Joyce fight that I watched last night, how Usyk was just playing with him, and he just bobs his head just off center as soon as he sees a punch coming and it misses and he counters. I think Joshua's a bit quicker, so it could be a bit tougher doing that, but yeah.
And then you've got to wonder about when Usyk gets inside and he hurt AJ. What are his punches going to do?
I don't know if he can hurt AJ, but if he consistently gets in, unloads 5-6 punch combination, gets out, if he does that 4 or 5 times around, then surely it would take a toll if he managed to get through some rounds. But getting through those rounds against somebody who can punch it long range where you can't hit him, could be tough. But I think it's a competitive fight. And
Adam said,
I would still love to see it.
oh yeah, man. Adam says Usyk stops AJ. Log it. Okay. Yeah.
It's a possibility too. I think if it did happen, it would be accumulation. Though I don't think it'd be any kind of one punch hurt him really bad and he's out or anything like that.
That's going to be the interesting thing with the Chisora fight, is we're going to see Usyk's power. We're sort of going to kind of try and get a gauge on what sort of punching power he's actually bringing.
That's it. That gauge is going to tell us a lot. So, yeah. Usyk at 6'3", 78-inch reach. Makes him even a bit heavyweight. Yeah, well, it's like an average heavyweight, isn't it? About 6'3", 6'4", 78-inch reach.
He's an average size heavyweight these days.
Depending on what weight he comes in, I expect he's going to be around 225, 230. And I don't think that's too heavy for him to lose too much speed or stamina, so... Man, I don't hear anybody saying Adam Kalnacki and Andy Ruiz are small heavyweights. They're just fat is the only difference. Hey.
Yeah, man. I don't think Usyk's too small. 6'3", 78-inch reach, and you're fast, you're manoeuvrable. He's going to have to show a good chin, obviously. AJ does have some power.
Yeah.
You can't count him out in the fight. You can't. It's just whether or not, how effective is AJ's jab? Can he keep him on the outside? When Usyk gets inside, can he take AJ's power? Can he hurt AJ with his punches? There'll be a lot of questions going into that fight, so it'll be a good one.
Yep. Oh, Billy got a good comment here. Something about something a bit psycho about Usyk. I think he could see him beating AJ. Yeah, well, he's definitely got some kind of X factor. Dude's a different sort of dude, isn't he? He's a character. Even though he doesn't speak English, he still makes everybody laugh with a lot of the stuff he does. But those crazy eyes, man. It's those crazy eyes. Funny shit. But see the bit of banter going on between Usyk and Chisora. Kind of similar to what went on with Usyk and Bellew prior to their fight. There's a lot of respect there between them. It's pretty hard for any other fighter, to disrespect Alexander Usyk. Everybody knows what he's achieved and what he can do in the ring. But try and insult somebody who probably does understand a lot of your English, but if he doesn't like what you say, he'll pretend he doesn't understand anyway. So you can't get in his head.
I haven't seen any of their conferences yet.
I haven't had any press conferences, but they're going kind of to and fro in social media. Usyk, I've seen one where he's in his kayak, paddling past the wharf going, Derek, how are you, Derek? I guess he's trying to do things like Shannon Briggs was doing to Vladimir Klitschko sort of thing.
Yeah.
And Derek's making response videos. I think he had one on his farm where he's just walking around the paddock saying, Alexander, how are you, Alexander? Having a bit of fun with it, so good for them. Looking forward to what's going to happen possibly at the press conference. I don't think we're going to see any tables flying or anything from Chisora, but it's bound to be some kind of entertainment at the very least. With
Chisora.
Yeah, definitely the dude brings some entertainment to events, whether it be through aggression or just a sense of humour. So looking forward to it, but really looking forward to seeing how much Alexander Usyk weighs. And
whether he comes in light or he comes in, 220 probably. Do you reckon 220?
I think he'd be a little bit heavier than 220. When he was a cruiserweight, on fight night he would come into the ring at about 2:15. So, you know, after not being in the ring, when did he fight Chaz Witherspoon? I have to bring him up. I think it was over a year ago though, wasn't it? Oh, there he is, Alexander Usyk. Oh, that's... Hey, there's another dude called Alexander Usyk. And he's... Oh no, that's the same dude. I thought it was a different...
Was he 242 pounds, Usyk, against Chaz Witherspoon?
Nah, 215.
Oh.
215. Chaz Witherspoon was 242.
Oh, the rating was 293. Sorry, Jesus. Yeah, 215 pounds.
Yeah. So that's like his rehydration weight after when he was cruiserweight as well. You know, because he was like 298 against Bellew, but he wasn't 298 in the ring. No way. Yeah, and all the rest of his fights are... 198 against Bellew, 198 against Mirat Gassiev, 199 against Marius Briedis, but you know he's supposed to be 200 pounds. So I'm just guessing about 225. But you could be right. Maybe he'll be 220. Maybe he wants to keep as much speed as he possibly can against a guy who doesn't really have a lot of boxing skill in Derek Chisora, in my opinion. He's got a lot of dog in him, a lot of fighter in him, and that's what he's been getting by on for years.
It was like when he fought Takum, taking a hammering, and looked like Takum was going to pull that fight out, and boom, you know.
Yep.
He just grinds you down, eh? And he's one of those guys. He just grinds you.
Yeah, well, that's not a bad comparison either, because Carlos Takam at that time wasn't really spent. He can move. He can move when he really wants to. Maybe not quite as quickly as Usyk, but you know, we saw Takam using his movement, using angles, and he was winning that fight convincingly until he got that one shot right on the chin. And good night.
Yeah, that's the one thing Chisora is very good at, is going to the body and then flying up to the head.
Yeah.
Does that very well. So that's, you know, I'm sure Usyk he'll train for that. He'll be aware of it.
I'm sure, but you know, there's always that possibility of one punch. It's like Carlos Takam found out the hard way. So yes, I will be doing a live commentary stream for that card. It will start at 9 AM New Zealand time. So tune in for that. The scheduled event is up on the channel, and we're going to find out a lot about these other fighters. Looking forward to it. Alright, man, so is there any other subjects you'd like to bring up before we think about closing this down, bud?
Oh, just where the boxing's going to go next year, because this damn COVID's not getting any better.
Mate, we might get a whole lot more boxing down here in New Zealand.
I mean, there may come a point, man, where they're going to have to just start to say, you know, we've got to get some fights on, and we got to go where we can have a crowd.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just terrible, this COVID. It's just,
you could come down here and have boxing events during the day if you want it televised at night. In the UK, you'd have to start at around 9 in the morning. The American time slot over here is about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So we're allowed crowds. Bring your fighters over here, 2 weeks quarantine, and then you tickety boo.
Yeah, man. And we're going to be able to see Joseph Parker with the crowd.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be great. Actually, a boxing match with, probably maybe 10,000 people there or something.
Yep. I will be in that crowd. I've already got my ticket. So hopefully we don't have another huge outbreak and it doesn't happen. That will really piss me off. But yeah, looking forward to that one. It's 11th of December. Let's get it.
It's not far away. Not far away. What's the date today? Yeah, last
29th of October today here in New Zealand.
5 weeks to go.
Yeah. So, looking forward to it. But yeah, the rest of the world don't look too good when it comes to controlling the COVID at present. I think, in the UK and America, we're definitely not going to be having any crowds for some time yet.
Just carnage over there, man. The UK is awful. God.
So, was it Anthony Joshua and Kubrat Pulev on the 12th of December, is it?
Yeah, it's going to be good just to get that out of the way.
Well, are they still going to try and put it in a stadium? Man.
God, I don't know how they would.
Let's see. Have they got a venue booked for that yet? Have a look. Anthony Joshua. Here he is. There's the event. IBO, WBO. Doesn't have a venue as yet.
You look at the UK, man, 24,701 cases today, 310 dead today. It's just such a long way from sorting this, man.
That is a long way. What else have they got on? They've got Lawrence Okoli and Krzysztof Glowacki are fighting for, is it the WBO title? It is, as well, on that Joshua Pulev card. I hate watching Lawrence Okoli fight. He's a boring, scrappy, lots of cuddles kind of fighter. I don't think he's going to get much chance of cuddles against Krzysztof Glowacki, though. He likes to get inside and throw hands. Southpaw, former world WBO champion, so could be an interesting fight. Is Okoli going to be able to handle him? He's considerably bigger than him, though. Yeah, doesn't look like... Oh, we do. It's O2 Arena.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So they're putting it in the O2. I don't know why they're bothering with an arena that holds 20,000 people either. Doesn't make sense. They just need a studio that can fit a ring and 100 people in it. That's all they need.
Yeah.
But
They go for some atmosphere, maybe, or some... I don't know how you get the atmosphere without the crowd. It's just...
Wasn't that also where Anthony Joshua won his first title against Charles Martin? Maybe there's a bit of sentimentality there. It's his good luck stadium. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. When it gets closer to the time, maybe they might be allowed smaller spaced crowds or something. Socially distanced crowds, I don't know, but if you're going to get a ticket, and that is the case, they're going to be mighty, mighty expensive. So, I think you'd be better off just to sit at home in the UK and buy the pay-per-view and watch it. Or, I don't even know when the DAZN actually launches in the UK, but apparently the news is today that it's going to be $1.99 a month there. So,
That's cheap.
Sky must have lost their contract with Joshua at some point for DAZN to be able to play his fights on there. I don't know. We'll see what unwraps in the near future with that. AJ and Fury versus AJ in Spark Arena. Yeah, well, we can get, 13,000 people into that arena. And if people can come to New Zealand, as long as they're prepared to spend 2 weeks in quarantine, and if you're all clear, you can go to the fight as well. It'd be great for New Zealand tourism, which has been suffering for a while, So
Yeah, it'd be good, man.
yeah,
Yeah, we can kiss next year goodbye for crowds in the rest of the world, I think.
Yep.
Even if they get a vaccine, it's going to take time for it to kick in, and it's just, yeah, damn it.
Oh, I'm also hearing rumours that the vaccines that they're making possibly aren't going to be strong enough to last very long. Apparently,
Yeah,
So,
3 months and your immunity's gone.
so
That's
you know,
damn.
it's kind of what's the point of vaccine if it only lasts 3 months? You have to go back every 3 months if you want to stay COVID free.
Yeah. Oh, mate, they need something that lasts at least a year
Yeah, and
to get rid of it.
also not taking much into the account of the evolution or mutation of the COVID as well. So, you know,
I know. Oh, it's mate. I mean, a lot of people are holding on to hope with the vaccine because they can't see any other way out of this damn mess.
yeah,
Just terrible.
it's basically hurry up and wait and see what happens. Might end
That's
up being herd immunity being the only solution, and that could be years down the track.
No. Oh, mate, it sucks. Yeah,
Such
I
is
miss the
life.
good old days, John.
Yeah, mate. So do I. So do I. But this is what we have right now, so we've got to deal with it and take it as it comes. That's all we can do. But so that's probably about us for today, Mala. Appreciate you jumping on and joining me, man.
Great, man.
Any final words?
We've covered everything, mate, I think.
Sweet as. Sweet as. So, like I say, y'all, I'll be doing a live commentary stream on the weekend. Be sure to tune in. Thanks to everybody who turned up in the chat. We had Adam Fahey, Billy Bully, we had AA Boxing and Blunts, Intangible Boxing News, Tommy Temper. Who else we got in here? Mala2243, of course. You Dossa. Thanks for dropping by. What else we got here? That's the quick roll call, and I apologise if I do miss anybody. Joseph drops in every now and then as well. Thanks for dropping in, man. What else we got here? Sporting Advantage. Big shout out to you, brother. It might be close to about it for today, but if I have missed your name, don't take offense. I do appreciate everybody dropping in, whether it's for a good time, a long time, or just a short time. Alright, team, so that's us for today.
Good, Jono.
Take it easy, Muller.
Cheers, mate. See you, man.
See you, bro. And get my outro sorted there. Boom, here it comes. And that is a wrap for today. Hope you all enjoyed today's session. If you have, be sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel so not to miss future content. If you'd like to get more involved with the channel, off air, and with the subscribers, you can head to the main channel page, and up on the right of the channel banner there is this Discord invite link. Once you click on that, it will take you to the Big Boys Boxing Discord server. Over here we have multiple platforms for chat. We have general chat, which is anything boxing. We have live fight links, where I drop links to fights within 24 hours of them screening. We have live fight replays. I drop the occasional replay here so you can come and watch them. We also have Fight Night Chat, which is for people who play Fight Night Champion. I play a bit of it. You can come and talk strategies, tips, whatever here. But the main thing here is this live panel voice channel. If you ever want to get involved on the live panel on YouTube, this is where it runs from. You come here, simply click on it, and you are in the live chat. And see the green rings come up when I speak. That means your mic is active. Down the bottom here, if you want to mute at any time, you can do so, like that. And if you want to get out at all, there's this hang up button right here. And that's all there is to it. So like I say, I'm Jono from Big Boys Boxing. I will catch you next time. Peace.